What's good? What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Urban Platform Speaks. Make sure to like and subscribe as you come into the channel. Check out the content. And with that being said, I want to speak on a recent video clip that I ran across, and it was of this guy, 23-year-old young entrepreneur, bought a Subway franchise, and he basically comes on to describe how much he makes, how much he made in a week with that Subway set with the Subway franchise, right? And so when I saw the clip, it just made me think about another video that I had seen, and I'm gonna get to that video after I play this one, but another video that I had seen with women and their expectations, right? How much they think a man should make in order for them to date, a man. And so what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna play the video of the young man who was a Subway owner. And let me see something. He's a Subway owner, and how much he made after 1 week of owning the Subway. Hold on, I'm gonna start it from the beginning.
A 23-year-old young Black entrepreneur reveals how much money he made during his first week as a Subway franchise owner. The amount may surprise you.
All right, so coming into this, my goal was to have $7,000 a week. So that's $1,000 a day. When I bought the store, they were doing like 3 to 600, 700 on a great day every single day. So they weren't doing the $7,000 a week. So that was the goal.
So how much revenue did you generate your very first week?
My first week in total revenue was $5,666.88. That is how much money I collected in sales.
And how much did you have to pay for all of your supplies?
So my cost of goods, or the cost for me to buy like the turkey, to all of that stuff, my cost of goods was $1,666.80, which was roughly 29% of how much I made.
And what about your employee wages?
My labor for that week was $960, which is not horrible.
But wait, I imagine that you yourself worked about, 8, 9 hours a day?
I worked 13 hours. I worked open to close every single day for that whole week.
You worked 13 hours a day, 7 days a week? All right, so what other expenses do you have?
I got the royalty fees. So the royalty fees for Subway is 12.5 or whatever your gross is. And that came out to $708.36 that I had to pay out to Subway.
And then how much is your rent?
My rent per week is $750. I had to pay that out.
Okay, so all in all, how much did you profit?
$931.72 my first week owning a Subway franchise.
So you profited $931 as the owner of a Subway franchise, working 7 days a week for 13 hours a day.
Okay, so now let me first say that, right? 23 years old, owning a Subway franchise, that's very good. I had a friend, we still friends as a matter of fact, but he managed a restaurant when he was like 19 years old, and he was very motivated and managed. And he's a very, like, as far as he's a very good entrepreneur, went on to like buy some houses and some properties and stuff like that. So some people are responsible enough and focused enough at an early age to be able to do something like that, right? But the thing that struck me is this kid worked 13 hours a day, 7 days a week, and made a little bit over $900. And I was thinking, like, it would take a special woman to be able to hang in there with a guy who is making $900 over, $900 a week. That comes out to about like 48,000, 46 or $47,000 a year, you know. And so I want to play this other video. Hold up. I'm gonna play another video of these young ladies and their expectations of what a man should be making. So let me pull up this other screen so I can, because this, like I said, definitely going to be a disconnect when it comes to what men and women are looking for in relationships. Hold up, I'm gonna take this off of here. Stop screen share. Okay, here we go. Then I'm gonna pull up this other video. There you go. Because there's definitely going to be a disconnect. Pull this up. All right, now we talking. So listen to the response of these young ladies, like what their expectations are. And then you can kind of see that like a lot of women are not really going to hang in there with a guy that's making $900 a week and working 13 hours a day. That's just, to them, it's just not appealing. $900, like some women will spend that on one of their little purses that they buy, or like one of those purses probably costs more than $900. Or these women want to take vacations. They want to go out. They want to party. They expect cars and gifts and stuff like that. And if you're trying to build, like a lot of these young ladies that are out here today would not be somebody that you would be able to, to build with, just because of their unrealistic expectations and their attitudes. So let me play this video right here.
I was thinking something else. Probably over 100,000 or 200,000. $250,000.
Okay.
50K.
You'll take 50?
I'll take 50K. Really? That's what the average black man makes. And remember, I'm 31 and I'm fat. Like, well, I'm not gonna get a millionaire. So
Like 80K, 80 to 100. I don't care as long as he's working hard.
Oh, stop the cap. The average man makes somewhere between 37 to 50K per year. So all of you guys, except for you, want a guy well above average. Do you guys all think that you're above average women?
So there you go, right? The average guy, and this guy falls within the average. You said the average guy makes in between $37,000 and $50,000. This guy, working at the rate he was working, would make about $40-something thousand, or about $46,000. That's just starting out. But to most women, to a lot of, I ain't gonna say most women, but a lot of women, that wouldn't fly. 30, and they said it. These women said they expect this guy, a man, to make over $100,000 or $500,000, because they don't want to work, they don't want to contribute, they just want to live a soft, cushy life, and just have the guy out there doing all the work. And they think that just because they are attractive and they provide the sex and stuff like that, that's what it's all about. That's enough, and for them to live the cushy life. But I'm gonna play. Let me see. Actually, I'm gonna play this again.
Come on, Queen.
Okay, here we go.
What's the bare minimum your guys got to make for you to be in a serious relationship with him? We'll start here and then work our way. Go ahead.
100K, maybe 2%. Like 80,000. My bad.
No.
I was thinking something else. Probably over 100,000 or 200,000. $250,000.
Okay.
50K.
You'll take 50?
I'll take 50K. Really? That's what the average black man makes. And remember, I'm 31 and I'm fat. Like, well, I'm not gonna get a millionaire. So
Like 80K, 80 to 100. I don't care as long as he's working hard.
Oh, stop the cap. The average man makes somewhere between 37 to 50K per year. So all of you guys, except for you, want a guy.
All right, so there you go again, right? Some of these women said $500,000, $200K, $100,000, right? And then they don't even take into effect, like, what do you do? Like, what qualifies you as a woman? Like, what will qualify you to be with a guy that's, that would make that kind of money? Like, because if you're fortunate enough to pull and land a guy like that, like, why would he want to be? What about you as a woman would make you, think that he would want to be exclusive with you when he will have tons of women, like several women just trying to really just basically, get at him because he do make that kind of money. But most women are not really trying to build with a guy like this. Like I said, this guy is 23 years old on one franchise. And if he, at this rate, if he keeps it up, he'll wind up if he stick with it, he'll wind up probably could own several franchises or different businesses, because this is, just a start for somebody like him. He's working 13 hours a day. As long as you're willing to work hard and be consistent, he would figure it out. He would figure out how to make moves and get other businesses. But in the meantime, a lot of women are not going to stick with a guy like that. They want somebody who is already established. They want somebody who is going to own like 10 or 12 or 15, franchises before you can, with the kind of money that they talking about. Because like I said, $46,000 a year is not going to do it. They're going to want him to make several times that over before they can, they feel like they can be comfortable. And what happens is these young ladies chase after the guys who probably make good money. They probably athletes or something like that. But these guys have plenty of women, and they're not trying to settle down with just this one woman. So instead of building with a guy like this, they'd rather chase somebody who they know that they don't really stand a chance with, right? And even in business, right, the best opportunity most of the time in business is to get in on the ground floor, because that's where you profit. Like, that's where you profit the most at, if you can get in on the ground floor. Like, once a business go public and they start selling stocks and stuff like that, you don't make as much money as if you was in on the ground floor, like you was an initial investor. Once it go public, the business go public, then you really not going to make a whole lot of money. You're not, you just basically, like I said, you're not going to make a whole lot of money. But these women don't want to be the kind of person who get in on the ground floor and support this guy and help him to grow the business, or take care of him while he's growing the business, but they rather wait until he get established and, the business is really, really big before they can come in. But then by then, the dynamics of the relationship has changed, because now he has already built the business. So he's not looking for somebody, the dynamics of the relationship will definitely change. Whereas though, if you helped him build the business, or if you supported him while he built the business, then you'll have a different kind of equity in that business. And women don't understand that. So that's what I wanted to say. I just wanted to show like how people like this guy who are ambitious and want to build at an early age will most likely get overlooked by these women who think that you should already have six figures when they meet you, or they're not going to deal with you. So that's my take on the situation. Make sure to like and subscribe. Don't forget to leave a comment. And with that being said, I'll check you all out in the next video. Peace.